All right, we are in a John Deere 190 GW wheeled excavator. It's got the two-piece boom, lots of auxiliary hydraulic lines, and so we're just gonna go over how to operate this thing. It's got quite a few buttons and levers on it. It took me a while to get it all down. Everything's pretty normal starting it up, just like a regular excavator. For what it's worth, a John Deere excavator is also a Hitachi key, Hitachi Excavator Key. There's a throttle dial. In case I forget to tell you later when we're doing the coupler, most people don't know this. Don't ever run a coupler if you're grabbing a bucket, changing attachments. Don't ever run it at full RPM. Run it at half or less. It doesn't need that much flow. Okay, first things first, we're gonna enable our hydraulics. If you see this switch right here, we have off, meaning our excavator hydraulics are off and our outrigger hydraulics are off. We can go to this section here, that is enabled excavator hydraulics. Outrigger hydraulics are still off or on, excavator on, outriggers are on. And so now this is gonna, just like all excavators, that's gonna enable our pilot controls. You see over here we have a lever that, usually this runs a blade on other excavators, but on this one it runs the outriggers. So we're just gonna push forward, maybe give it a little more RPM, and don't worry, it'll self-level. There's no independent outrigger control. So we're off the ground now. I'll see if I can zoom in on this. There are locks that you see right in the middle of the picture there. That pin with the cotter key, when your outriggers are up, you can repin it and it'll keep your outriggers up, I suppose, for during transport. Okay, this will be a little difficult. Now we're ready to run it. At this point, if you've ever run an excavator, it feels exactly like running an excavator. We got our swing here. If you'll look down here, this one does have the pattern control changer. I'm on the, what I like to call the correct control pattern. If you want to do the wrong control pattern, you can switch to that. It changes your boom and your stick controls. This one took me forever to figure out. If you read the book, it doesn't tell you the correct way to do it. So on our two-piece boom, if you see that middle cylinder there, I've got it stuck out pretty far right now, more for reach and digging, but say you're gonna be lifting a heavier load and you wanna get it in closer. But see, this is very strange. This second switch here, I'm gonna click it, the green light comes on. Now in my left hand, now this auxiliary slider control, it's gonna work that two-piece boom there. So now I've got it all the way out. I'm gonna have to boom up if I'm gonna. Next thing I'm gonna figure out is how to turn that beeping off, but I haven't figured it out yet. Okay, now this, you see, this sucks everything in pretty close. You got all your boom mass closer to the center line of the machine. It gives you the heaviest lift capacity, but it's not much good for digging. So let's get it on back out. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, so I'm just gonna turn that feature back off. What else we got? So we got our Rockland coupler control. It's a little different. It's this box on your right, kind of behind my right shoulder, and you'll see it's got a coupler on it. So if you want to uncouple this bucket, you need to curl your bucket in, and then stick in, or if you're old school, you put your dipper in, or you can combine it, say dipper stick. Put them down a little bit. Okay, let's flip it. And then hold this button down. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we'll see it'll be. And we're uncoupled. Oh my gosh, it's driving me nuts. Let's couple it back up. It's not as particular when you go to couple it back, just flip the toggle switch down. And you see it's, you always want to be sure and check that that bad boy's locked in place, but it is. Okay, so now we're gonna drive. You can get as much mass closer to the machine, the less bumpy your ride's gonna be, so I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. Here's your park brake switch right here. We're gonna turn it off, and your forward reverse is actually your index finger down here. So up puts it in forward. There's an indicator right there. Middle is neutral, down is reverse. Okay, so let's go. We're gonna go forward, and then we're gonna set our travel speed on this right hand. Let's go on the low, the turtle range. If you're roading quite a ways, you can put it on rabbit and it gets with it. I'm uncomfortable with it on the yard here. You have a service brake down here, and then here is your pedal for your travel speed once you want to go. Column tilts for you, which is nice when you're short like I am. Let's give it all she's got on the RPM there. And we're in forward. Press down with my foot. Ha! I meant to do that. We still got our outriggers down. I'm gonna pull back on this lever, get them all up. All right, now let's try. Push down, we're in forward. Got a pretty sizable turning radius. Just keep an eye on your surroundings. Like, keep your eye on service trucks coming in from lunch. There's old John. All right, so here's the neutral, reverse, and then it's counterintuitive, but you just press down on this pedal. Now you're going backwards. Toggle it the other way, going forwards. There's a seat warmer. I think it's above 100 degrees right now. I guess we'll leave that off until November. If I can update this later, if I learn something new, I will, but that ought to get you started.